Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 12 of Nightshift Uncensored. My name is Will. With my co-host Carlos tonight, we have Desiree and Cheyenne. For this episode, we have met with Cheyenne before, but unfortunately she didn't have her voice that time, so we brought her back, hopefully for some more interesting conversation. You guys want to start out with what you currently are doing or role for night shift these days? What do you do at night?
What do you guys do?
We are dancers. I always show up way too late. Working on it. But yeah, it's a fun time. I love my job.
Great.
I always say I'm going to be at work at 7. I don't want to get there about 10.
It seems like it's a, I don't know if it's, you guys are independent contractors, so I imagine it's up to you to whenever you decide to get to work. Because what is your motivating factor? I mean, you're sitting there like, whoa, what makes you decide to get up and go do it? Because I noticed that you do come in late.
Yeah, I do. I need to pay my bills.
Bills, that'll get you.
Yeah, I always have a set time for myself, and then I get distracted very easy. So I find everything else that I have to do.
Like, what's your biggest distraction?
Not wanting to do it?
Yeah, actually, yes.
Television? Your motorcycle too, right? Because you drive a
Yes,
motorcycle.
yeah. I need to start driving more. It's almost fall time. Yeah. I've gotten on my new one like 5 times so far, and that's not enough.
Yeah, it's hot.
It is hot.
Yeah.
It's very hot.
You moved up to a bigger bike too. What is it?
I did. I want to go faster. I want to be louder. Need the attention.
Faster, louder. How big's the bike now?
It's 600.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How fast have you gone?
So far, I've gone 140.
You've been riding how long?
Since last October.
Wow.
It's wild.
Yeah.
You're like 95 pounds.
I know, yeah.
How do you hang on?
Real tight.
Yeah, do you not ever feel like you're about to like come off the thing,
for
you
sure.
know?
For sure. And like, especially with the new bike, like my other one, pushed like 130 if I tucked in, glued into the bike. But like now, like my head is like way back here and I gotta, yeah.
And you taught yourself how to ride too, right?
I did, in a parking lot. Yeah, I just watched a bunch of YouTube videos and figured it out.
Good old YouTube.
Yeah, I won't let a man teach me how to do shit.
Oh, okay.
Well,
But tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, speaking of riding, so you ride a different kind of subject. You ride a horse.
Ride horses.
All right. And you told us a little bit of the story the last time, but we couldn't get all the info out of you because of the voice issue. But I guess you found a horse that you owned prior?
Yeah, so I had found my original barrel horse that I had when I was 14.
Uh-huh.
And I had been on the hunt left and right, stalking people's Facebook, waiting for her to come up for sale, watching who she got sold to. And then like 5-6 years later, I find her and I got her back. And I've had her for about 2 months now.
That's incredible that you and it's like sounds like a Disney movie, like how a kid found her horse from childhood.
It was meant to be.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming. It's been very emotional, very hectic.
I feel like we should have that music playing in the background when you're talking about it, like the violin.
Well, I mean, what's barrel horsing exactly? Maybe I don't know.
Like what do I do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really know how to explain it. I barrel race. I ride in rodeos. Me and one of my friends are getting started on team roping when it starts cooling down a little bit. We talked about it a long time ago when I had her the first time, but he wanted to go with bull riding, and I didn't like it.
So you're straight up rodeo, right?
Oh, yeah.
You're running around. This is when you race around the barrels.
Yes.
Time.
Yeah.
And then you also you say you're roping as well?
I do.
Where you rope up the calf and jump down and have to hog tie it?
No, we just.
That's what I'm trying to picture.
That's what I'm like, wow.
No. I do header. He's a healer.
Yeah.
It's basically that's it.
Yeah.
You got one throwing a rope around his head, one throwing a rope around his feet.
Okay, so that's the difference.
Yeah, and it's a timed event.
All right. So which one are you wanting to do there? The one around the head?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't have very good aim,
Don't
so
you
I
have
feel
to
like
get down there and kind of wrestle it down too?
I don't think so.
I've seen that happen before.
I think that's something
Just
different.
imagine you just hopping off that horse and just like grabbing a bull by the horns and like DDT in the thing, right? Pretty tough girl, huh?
I think that's something a little different. That was
Is
not
it?
quite my
Not
my
your speed?
No.
Well, you guys, we always ask certain questions that lead us into in-depth situations, like what's your kink has been the craziest one recently. I know that you went with something last time.
Oh, we're going to ask about that.
We always ask, too, if you have any interesting or crazy stories that you might want to share.
Well, I think we'll start out with the explanation because I don't know if everybody was able to hear it last time.
Right.
I know I definitely wasn't. able to understand what you were saying. But there was something about CNC, and I just, in running through the woods, because I think we have like a little clip
That's what we
of
got.
that.
We got CNC
So
running through the woods.
can you elaborate a little bit about how that CNC stuff works?
It's like consensual non-consent. So it's like play rape, I suppose. It's the easiest way to explain it to somebody. It could be like running through the woods, like everybody likes to talk about. And then it could be like you set up something where you got somebody, or like your man or your girl's like breaking into your house and they're like trying to rob you. And then, I mean, it could be like anything. You just gotta be creative with it.
Is there a time limit, like, or do you have to set a certain time, or can you say like in the next month this is gonna occur?
Right. That's like the.
I mean, I've normally kind of like planned ahead and then just had a
So
safe
you know the
word,
specific
like
time it's
surprise
gonna happen.
me.
Oh, so you want to be surprised, right? That's the whole idea.
Yeah, but it's like talked about ahead of time.
I see. So it could be any. That's what I meant by time frame. Like,
anytime.
next week, break into my house and do bad things to me. That is crazy. What if like your unexpected guest, like your mother, comes over and someone's coming through the window in a hood and. Has any of those situations
How does it
happened?
work with the
I've
law?
never had someone come over when my mom was there.
Okay, well, okay,
Oh,
not,
God,
not your
thank
mom,
God.
but I'm just saying, has there been any unexpected situations because of the scenario that have been like, oh my God?
Not really.
Yeah.
No, everything's kind of not necessarily expected, but not really a surprise.
I see.
If that makes sense.
I see a whole slew of things going wrong, like, the ambulance and the dog bit you and the.
I mean, there's
so
been
many
times
things.
that I've just been in a bad mood, and then here's just like this motherfucker, and I'm like, wait a minute,
Right.
now I'm gonna start cussing you out too. Go away.
Okay, so
So,
it could.
There's always that chance of catching the attitude or catching some hands, but
Is there a safe word involved in that?
of course.
Okay, all right. Very good to establish that. Because, how about you? What's your king?
I don't really. I mean, like public places are fun.
Yeah.
Like doing things you're not supposed to puts a little like thrill to it, right?
Yeah.
And like, I don't really know. That's a tough question. You gotta tell me what my kink is. Let me see if I like it or not.
Oh wow.
Yeah, right.
That's a new twist on it.
Yeah. Or like,
You're open to adventure.
I am very open to adventure. Or like being. I hope we're talking about the same thing. Like being tied up.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. All right.
Those are fun movies. Yeah.
Movies.
So you haven't experienced that yet?
No.
Oh, wow.
No.
Okay, well, we hope you get these things done for you.
If you guys are watching.
So what did you do prior to dancing, Desiree?
I was a waitress. I started working when I was 16, and I was a cashier, and I hated it. It was like 8-hour days standing there. I can't,
So you
I
were a
have
waitress
to.
and a cashier, or you did both?
So I did cashier first, and then I was a host for a little bit, and then I was a waitress, and I just needed something more. My spending habits needed more money. So, and I've always wanted to be a dancer, really. Like, since I was younger, I told my mom, I'm going to be a dancer. She knew exactly what I was going to do. Yeah. When I was 3 years old, I was spinning around a pole, and she was like,
get out of here.
It's going to happen.
Where did this come from, though?
Where did you get a pole at 3?
So, the concerts, and, they have, the big white tents.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those poles.
Yeah.
So she used to do concert
she was like, oh
stuff.
God.
Yep. She knew exactly what my future looked like.
Right.
And yeah, here I am. But I mean, she's always been very supportive. Like she actually chose my name for me, my dance name. Oh. Yeah.
So you got someone on your team. That's great.
I do. Yeah. And I tried to start OnlyFans for a little bit, and she actually managed it for me because I just I can't do both. I have to talk to these guys at the club, and then I have to go home and I have to answer all these messages that are they're all horny as fuck. So I can't balance.
Overload.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll just send you, and I never posted anything that mom shouldn't see. So I just sent her the pictures, and I was like, you post them, you make the caption, I'll send you however much.
Was it successful?
No.
No.
I didn't do it for long enough. I don't have patience.
Well, I mean, you had to kind of PG the pictures too, because mom is
Right,
seeing them.
exactly.
Right? Yeah.
But I don't think I'd ever be
That's not your thing.
no.
I see.
No.
So
I got a future. I gotta
Yeah. So I'm kind of curious, the restaurant you worked in, or what kind of environment was that? What was the one thing that said, this is the day where I'm done doing this shit. I'm going on to go do my 3-year-old dream of being a dancer.
3-year-old dream. The first one I worked at was kind of like a Greek restaurant, and it was more of like you turn the tables faster, they're in and out.
Yeah.
More of a fast food kind of thing. Not fast food, but.
We
And then,
know what you're talking about. Like
yeah.
diners.
And then the second one I worked at was a steakhouse, and it was like a fine and dine. Like you get the entree and the appetizer, you get sorbets and shit, and then the salads and all this. You got to time it right. So like all of your tables are there for like an hour and a half. So if you're gonna get a good tip, you need to get a good tip, because that's like you get 5 tables a night. So
Right.
yeah, but I really liked that, like the manager and everything. He's pretty sweet. So he was very understanding, because I started working at the same time at the club. And I was like, like I have to work Friday and Saturday at the restaurant, and those are the busiest days. So like, I got to get out of here. I'm sorry. I was like, I can work 1 day a week for you. But that's just because I want to pop in and say, hey.
So I think I'm asking for like that one moment, like you said, I'm going to go do that. I'm finally going to go dance. What was the...
Was there a day?
Just impulse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
Bills- was it Bills again?
somebody be like, hey, you should come dance here? Or?
I did it all by myself. I just did my research, and I started at one of like the lowest clubs in Charlotte, and figured out how to talk, figured out how to dance, how to move on stage, and how to work with the customers and stuff, and then worked my way up
Very
to
independent.
the best club in Charlotte.
Yeah.
So you started at another club earlier? You used to call it, what's our previous one? We used to call it the 2-star?
Two-star
The
club?
2-star.
I agree.
Right.
So what was your first day like when you went to this club?
So the club that I went to was ghetto, and I did not expect it. They had a cigarette room, so it like stunk in there, and like it was just different customers, different environment. The club was very small, and like the stage, like you could reach up and touch the ceiling.
Wow.
So it's just like a different kind of. The VIP rooms are like the champagne room and the VIP are together, so like it's very hard to sell things there. So I was just kind of getting the hang of it and stuff, and.
What was your audition process like? You walked in and they just like hired?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were very happy to see me. It was a very ghetto club, very ghetto. And the first time I was on stage, I took one pole class, and she came up to me and she was like, "Have you done this before?" I was like, "No." She was like, "Well, you're a natural. That's it. I'm doing it. I'm going." So yeah, I started on stage, and then they called me, which is I didn't know they did this. It's weird. They were like, Harlo, to the VIP room, somebody's waiting for you. I was like, I had been there for like 20 minutes. Like, what the fuck do I do? How do I do this?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was
So what was that experience like?
different to somebody that's never
Was it
danced
traumatizing?
before. Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't like get up and run out?
Oh no, I thugged it out, but
You're like, okay, this is it.
Yeah.
We're facing the new challenge.
So it seems you guys have something in common. You both have good relationships with your mother, because your mother is also involved in your career a little bit, isn't she?
I mean, good relationship. We're both in the same career, most definitely.
Okay, so I thought it was a amicable.
It's
you guys.
it's like 50-50. It depends on the day.
Yeah. All right. Now, where did you start? You started at another club as well, right?
I started in what I like to think is was one of the lowest of lows in Charlotte.
Yeah.
Right when I moved back from Colorado. So the day I turned 18, like 2 weeks after I turned 18, I moved to Colorado. I sold all my horses I had before. And then like 2 months later, I moved back and I started dancing at the club my mom was managing. And yeah, well, first I was the door girl. I actually started as the door girl because her door girl was having a baby. So she asked me to come work the door for her for a couple days. And then my ex-fiance was the first person I ever did a dance for. And then I think I did like $200 my first night while I was working the door, and I was like, oh, well, this is easy.
So you're working the door and dancing?
I was.
Okay. So how did someone like lock the door, go dance?
No, it was the same. It was like the door is here, and then like you just like walk in.
Like
and
a door and a couch.
So you can watch the door. That's wow. That's so cool. It's like multitasking.
So, speaking of money, so you said you made $200 your first day. What's the most you guys ever made in one day dancing? Either one of you can go first.
mine was $4,000, which is I went to Myrtle, and that was like the first 2 nights were shit. I didn't make anything, and then the second night really pulled through. Like in Myrtle Beach is just like young money, like there's a bunch of younger people going to the beach with their friends and all this. So, or golf money too.
Yeah.
Right, there's
Golf
usually a
money
tournament
down
of some sort. Then it's
right.
big,
Yeah. Just, I
$4,000
like,
a day's pretty good.
yeah, right.
That's like the goal to get back to now.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That's your
Yeah.
standard.
That'd be real nice.
I want to say about the same.
Yeah.
can't.
About $4,000.
Right before I got my boobs done, that's what finalized it for me.
Yeah.
That was the down payment.
That was paid off.
Yeah.
That was paying off.
That was paid off.
All right. So now what's like some of the, because I'm guessing now stuff probably doesn't shock you as much. But what is like one thing that you guys can remember that was like super shocking that either someone did or someone asked you to do, whether it's OnlyFans or a club? Can you guys think of a story of that?
I had a guy yank my tampon out while I was giving him a dance one time.
I can't top that.
Wow.
I cannot top that.
I think I tried to tell you guys this story last time, but I couldn't.
What do you do with it?
He threw it across the room.
Oh my!
At somebody or just like
just throw it across the room. This is right before I started working where I'm at now.
Yeah. You're still working the door dancing?
No, this is like a year and a half after that.
There's a lot going on at this place.
I was considering a nude club, but I hadn't done it yet, and I was still working at said club. I was doing champagne room, and I didn't even make it half a song into that room. I bent over, and then it was gone.
So he did it on purpose.
Oh yeah. I don't know if like it was just like it was hanging out, or if he was just like, what can I find in there? But
So what'd you do?
Yeah, what next?
I cried.
Oh, well, God.
I cried. What would you do?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. That's like
Probably on the
crazy.
I would
list.
never
Yeah.
return to that.
I'd be like,
I was very offended. I was very.
we got him kicked out. I hope.
Oh yeah. See, I'm very aggressive at some of the smaller clubs.
I think that's like abuse almost. That's like abuse, you know.
Yeah, that's
I
weird.
can I understand because I've heard of they thought that it was like a string hanging off of your T-bar or something.
So it was
or
an accident.
let me help you out a sec
Yeah.
and get this for you. No.
I can't imagine someone being like, oh, string.
That must be.
I mean, it's some
Party
point,
popper, what'll happen?
Oh my God.
I just said you said you can't top that, but
No.
let's see what
That's
you
a hell
got.
of a story.
Yeah, what's yours though?
What's
What's something that was just like shocking or like a request that was weird or do
You were
have
dancing, a
anything
tampon flew across the
anything
room.
that traumatized you? Yeah, you're dancing in a tampon.
Well,
comes
starting
across.
out dancing, I never thought that I would get nutted on, and that was
Oh,
horrifying.
what?
And it wasn't even he didn't even have it out; it was through the pants. And bro, push me off. I would rather get a concussion by hitting the floor than having your kids on my leg. I was so upset.
Oh my
I was so upset. I felt it, and I was like, "What the fuck did you just do?" And I embarrassed him in front of it. He knew what he did. He had a wet spot on his pants, and so I felt it on my leg, and I was like, "Give me my fucking money." And he was just like, I'm so sorry. I didn't blah, 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 blah. And I was like, no, actually, I don't even have time to get the money right now. I have to go get your fucking DNA off of my leg. So I told the bouncer, I was like, will you please get his money? I have to go wash this shit, whatever. Change the mood for the rest of the night. I don't understand. Just be like, hey, yo, stop. I'm about to bust, please.
So, and this is in a space where there was other people?
Yeah.
So this is just him and buddies, and he's just...
Guys don't care.
No.
I had a customer. He would always right before, he would pay workout situations, what he was drinking, entertainment, and then he'd say, "Oh wait, I have to go to the bathroom," and we'd always find a condom wrapper.
Yeah, they put condoms on.
And
That's what
so
pros are supposed to do.
He would put a condom on because in case that happened, he didn't want to embarrass
rather that
himself.
happen.
I mean,
But we also had a customer we used to have to kick out who would walk around with a stain on his pants. We'd be like, "What's wrong? Get out, man! What's wrong with you?"
They do it with no shame.
That's how we would notice. He would be walking around with a big on his pants. You got to get out of here. It's crazy.
I mean, there's some nasty guys out there, but I remember this one guy that really, he was actually a nice old man that would come in during a day shift, and somebody comes up to me. He's like, I think he did something in a chair, and so I'm like, I go over to the guy. He's sitting he had moved chairs at this point. I'm like, sir, I need you to stand up, and he's clearly wet. Through his whole, they were khaki shorts. They're not even dark, so you could see it, And the chair is completely wet. And I'm like, did you just piss yourself? And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry. It just happens. I'm like, oh, you piss yourself in this chair and then in that chair. How does it just happen? So then talking to some of the people that work day shift, they're like, oh, that happens when he gets excited. And some of the girls,
dog?
And some of the girls would still dance for him, even though they knew it was a thing that whenever he got excited, he would piss himself. I mean, he was an older guy. I'm guessing he couldn't control it. I mean, he even offered to pay for the chair, and I was just like, nah, man, like, these chairs are expensive. I can't keep having you piss on all the chairs, you know? Like, so I ended up having to ban them. You know, I was like, I'm sorry, until you get your situation under control, like, I can't have you here, but.
It was crazy because it was so acceptable. I remember because we had to get like chairs reupholstered because of this guy, and they're $400, $500 chairs. And
it was just a given that like, oh, he's coming in.
But the thing was that he would, once he had it happen,
day shift's a different
he would
world.
go to another chair. Like we'll just stay in your pissy chair, man. If you're gonna mess a chair up, but it was weird. He was an older guy.
I did have this guy at the old club too. And he cannot help this, but he knew good and well. He was in a wheelchair and he couldn't can't go to the bathroom. You walked up to him and he smelled like straight piss. And he asked me for a dance and I was being so very generous. And I was like, of course, I'll give you a dance. And I at the time didn't know his pants were fucking wet. So I sat down, felt it for a second, and I was just like, all right, you're just going to watch me shake my ass in front of you for a little bit. It smelled like a cat litter box. Like it was horrible. And I'm so sorry for that guy, but wow.
Yeah, but
don't ask for dances.
You don't have to put up with it, you know.
I mean, there's things they can do. You know, there's this adult diapers. You know, you could relieve yourself prior to the event.
Yeah.
I guess they just don't care.
Do it at home,
right? Do it at home, right? Yeah,
that's what Cameron was involved, you know, or got started probably. You know, stay at home. So working in between the club and then doing your OnlyFans and being in such a sexually charged environment for so long, how did that affect you, your personal sex life? Did it affect it? Did it make you not want it as much? Did it make you want it more? Or did you start hitting, I guess not, you haven't hit too many limits or you've pushed too many limits with it?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely affected my love language. Yeah. Love language used to be touch and words of affirmation. And now I don't give a fuck what you have to say. You can literally say anything. And don't touch me anymore.
Yeah.
So you gotta really prove yourself. But other than that, I mean, it definitely you just have to have the right mindset for it. You got to go into work and be like, all right, this is it. And then you got to leave and be like, all right, what just happened is done. Is for the money, straight for the money. You got to put on a different persona. So
yeah, that was kind of my question. Did you turn you off a little bit?
I mean, okay, so before I started dancing, I definitely used to be a little whore. And then I started dancing celibate as fuck. I don't even want anybody to touch me. I don't really care. I don't even want it anymore. Yeah.
I don't know if it's the easy factor. I think it's the
disgusting
disgusting factor that now where you probably had people are different. Maybe this person's different. Now your generalization of people, it could be men and women. We have both that go to the establishments like this, but everyone seems to have that kind of I wouldn't use the word grotesque, but they seem to always have a demeaning factor towards the entertainer. Sometimes when people pay for something, they feel it gives them a lot of entitlement, and they can talk to someone or do what they feel because they've paid for it, and that's usually the situation when we find with customers when we have to ask them to leave and don't come back because they forget the fact that we're human because they put money on the table, and we're not different than anybody else. This is an establishment that we're, it's a profession, but unfortunately because they spend money and we have expensive products, they feel because they put money down, I can say what the fuck I want. I can come on the stripper's leg. I can throw a tampon across the fucking room, and I paid for it, right?
There's only so many. Right. They're not all bad. It's just and a few of them.
Yeah, and it's just a few bad apples that obviously sometimes ruin a whole psyche for a young lady, and it's kind of bad. But and that's why we always ask these questions. How do you guys deal with it? I know you run your motorcycle at 140 miles an hour.
She's crying with her $100 bills like this.
Yeah. I don't know what you do to deal with it.
I smoke a lot of weed.
Smoke a lot of weed.
I smoke a lot of weed.
Yeah. I think that's usually the consensus I've noticed that
yeah, a lot of girls.
You guys can't wait to get out of there and can't wait to smoke something or have a drink and dissolve the day, right?
What really saves me is the stage.
Yeah?
I've always loved dancing, but it's just a little getaway. And, like, everybody's got their attention. I love being on stage. I've always loved being on stage. But
You feel like you have like a certain power when you're up there, like.
Well, your eyes are on you.
definitely, yeah. I mean, like, you can basically, like, with the eye contact and, like, how you interact with the crowd and stuff, like, you can pick anyone. Like, you're on stage, you know?
Yeah.
You just got to give a certain look. But, yeah. And there's definitely those guys that, like, after you dance for them, it just affects the energy for the rest of the night. Because, like, once you have a guy dancing for you, like, literally, like, fucking pumping you and, like, grabbing your titties and pulling you down, it gets a little bit irritating.
Yeah.
Get me out of here.
And
right?
especially, like, I mean, there are guys that, like, reach for your shit and, like, you got to do this, like, all the fucking time. And then you're like, yo, stop fucking touching me. And they're like, sorry, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to kick people in the nose. I'm so serious. Before I started
With those
working where I
heels.
was now, oh yes, most of the red ones.
Yeah.
Before I started working where I'm at now, anytime I did not play. I did not like being touched. I didn't really do dances. I more or less made all my money on stage everywhere else, but I did not like being touched. I broke a guy's nose one time because he was like, when I was on the stage, and his dad came up and gave me $100 and smacked the hell out of his son as they were walking out the door.
Oh, his dad hit him.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
it was crazy.
Somebody needed to do it.
I mean,
Do
we
you
both
guys
kind of
do you
did.
guys travel for dancing? I mean, I know you said Myrtle Beach, but do you
Yes.
guys travel like across the country or like anywhere
I
else?
would like to.
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
'Cause then you'll see shit's
Yeah.
different
Oh yeah,
everywhere.
but I won't
Because
travel.
you know, I've gone as a customer and like shit goes. So like the shit that goes on at some of the other places, I guess you kind of understand why guys sometimes don't know.
Yeah, because there's just,
Because
like,
like
different rules.
you know, like there's been some
boundaries.
places that like girls are like grabbing your hands and putting in places. Like that's how it's supposed to be. You know, like I've been in Vegas and the girls are giving you the price to go back to your room. Like they are like offering as part of their packages. You know, so it's like so the way that shit works. You know, I've been to some in West Virginia that are just like, whew, you know, they're like, I mean anything you can imagine. You know, I remember I was at the ski resort, and we asked the bartender because you know I've always kind of liked strip clubs. And we asked the bartender at the ski resort, I'm like, hey, you know, I know I'm in West Virginia, but I'm like, hey, you know, like, is there a strip club around here? And the guy's like, do you want the one with teeth or no teeth? You know? And that was like literally the question that they asked me. And I remember the one I went to, which was the one with teeth.
Chose teeth.
The entertainers there were like mopping the floor when I walked in, right? So they're a part of the cleaning crew. And
It's an idea.
you know, at this point, I'm just like drunk, trying to, you know, trying to just have some fun, have some drinks, you know, just nothing to do at night in West Virginia. And so, you know, like I try to give the girl money just to sit. Like, I'm like, I don't want any dances, just, you know, just sit with us. And she's like, oh no, we can't take money from you, like without dances or without being on stage, because the owner there, or whatever the place was, they take half of their money. So it's like whenever they go on stage, they take half of their money, and whenever they do VIP rooms, they take half of their money. So that's why they can't accept money any other time. And then I was like, and what happens in the VIP rooms? She's like, whatever you want.
I mean, I say that too until we get up there, and I'm like, you can't do this. Don't touch me. Seriously, don't look at me right now. Like, I'm pissed off.
My back
gotta
hurts. I
sell
have a
it.
headache.
Right.
I do notice that when entertainers travel, sometimes they try different places and go to different cities. They come back with a different understanding. They're like, wow, I really, you know, the upper echelon club is definitely, I missed you guys, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and that does make sense. Like if you go and like you're getting offered all this stuff, like I can imagine you go here, you see somebody you like how much to take you home?
Yeah.
And then we're like, bro, we don't go home. Like,
Have you seen this?
The mop on the floor, I think, gave me an idea. I mean, you know,
get rid
guys
of
are
it.
just standing around half the time. No, get a mop. No.
So how's your dating life? Like, are your partners? Do you have partners? And are your partners okay with what you do?
Ass.
What happened with you?
I left this man and he tried to shoot himself in front of me.
Is that what happened with the last
Yes.
episode?
That's the last episode. Yeah, you're right.
No, this was actually recent. I called his mama because obviously I can't leave if he's got a gun in his hand. He's gonna shoot me. I called his mama to come help me, and she started yelling at me.
So wait, he was going to shoot himself.
Yep. Because I was going to leave. Because he told me to leave.
How'd you talk him down off that, other than calling his mom?
I jumped on his back and I grabbed his arms like a dumbass.
Yeah.
I could have been smarter. I could have just walked away.
Need a TV show.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Right. So he just said, "Okay, I won't do it," or I was just kidding.
We screamed until his mom got there. That's how that went.
Well, interesting. So your dating life is extreme.
I don't date. Okay, he was supposed to be a fuck buddy. And then the roommate I had was jerking off to me while I was sleeping. So he was like, "Yeah, you can." He was like, "Yeah, you can come stay here until you get a place." And I was like, "Hey, cool, whatever." And then like instead of just fucking, we started dating, and then I found out he was married.
Wow. This just gets better because I had questions.
Wait, no, she just
Three
Then the
topics
wife
ago,
walks in.
so
but then
normal.
now the wife. So I gotta I need a pen. I need to write shit down. I'm gonna forget. Go ahead, keep going.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to 2 stories ago. How did you find out the roommate was jerking off to you while you were sleeping?
Oh, well, he
does
came
that
up to me
happen?
one night.
It just escalated, right?
He came up to me one night and he was like, okay, so I sleep naked. Okay. He came up to me one night. He's like, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know you have a really pretty pussy." I was like, I mean, thanks, man, but you can keep that to yourself. So I put cameras up in my room because I was just curious. And the house that we were in, it was like a bedroom, a bathroom, and a bedroom, but the bathroom connected both bedrooms. So he was standing in the bathroom with the door cracked, just fucking going at it. So I moved in with a guy I was supposed to be just sleeping with, and then it turned into, like 9 months of bullshit?
So when you moved in with the guy, where was the wife?
Oh, they were like just not living. I don't know. Okay, so I can't legally talk about most of the story, but
There's still
long story
let
short,
me guess. There's still a date of court.
Ongoing,
No.
ongoing
long story
investigation.
short, she's Brazilian, and she's not supposed to be here.
So this story is just so twisted.
It just keeps going. It
Yeah.
gets better
Okay,
and better.
so she was not living in the house that you guys were living in.
She was living with her boyfriend.
Oh. Okay.
Makes sense, duh. Okay.
So what a tangled weave going on there. So she's living with her boyfriend. He's living with you because you can't live with your roommate because he's jerking off to you sleeping.
Right.
And what's next?
Oh no, he almost shot himself.
Right,
Yeah.
we got that.
He almost shot himself, and now I live with my grandma.
Well,
Good.
well, good.
And now I might have a date on
safe?
Friday.
Grandma's pretty safe?
Oh yeah, my grandma's great.
Okay.
My grandma just likes to move shit too much.
Yeah.
Like rearrange.
Girl, we spent an hour and a half yesterday putting a carpet down.
Yeah.
Like not even putting carpet, like a rug.
Yeah.
She couldn't decide where she wanted it. She moved her big ass, heavy ass bed 5 different times.
So back to boyfriend and his wife. Where are they at now with the gun and his mother? What's going on with all that?
Oh God! So she came in there and she called him a dumbass, and then she called me a dumbass, then she called me a godless piece of pussy.
Hold on. What did you do?
Wow.
Is it your fault? Godless piece of pussy.
A godless
That's crazy.
piece of pussy.
Yeah.
There was.
That's
a few,
quite the insult.
That sounds like a T-shirt. Sounds like a serious T-shirt, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So your dating life.
So your dating life.
Well, I'm sorry. It's mine's fun sometimes.
No, you definitely need your own show. God, I feel like I need to hear more. Like, no, the way that she was like, yeah, and he was just like jerking off like while I was sleeping, and then like kept on talking.
Yeah. Like, it just like escalated 3 stories. I was like, wow, okay.
My dating life is very good right now. Actually, I took a very long break because I just like my ex was a piece of shit. So I took a very, very long break, and now I have a little angel. It's very sweet. So
Good.
How does he feel about your current profession?
it's really weird, actually. So the first time we ever hung out, he asked me, he was like, "Did you used to be a blonde?" I was like, "Yeah." "I think you gave me my first lap dance ever."
So he is a previous customer?
Yeah, he
Right.
went in with his ex-girlfriend. And, like, because she was like, I just want to, like, let you know, like, how the club is or whatever. Yeah. And he was like, "I remember what you were wearing. You had, like, leather shorts on and blah, blah, blah." And I was like, I don't even remember that day. Like, I don't remember seeing him at all. But I gave him his first lap dance ever. And then, like, 2 years later, here we are.
How did he find you?
I found him on Instagram. And we have, like, no mutual friends whatsoever, like, which is really nice, honestly.
So it's like fate.
That's
Right.
another story there that's going. You, the horse, you, and so First lap dance must have been a serious lap dance.
I guess so. I guess I put a pretty little effect on him. I don't know. But yeah, he's very cool with it. He knows.
Yeah.
Like, I go and then I come home.
Come home, he helps you wipe the DNA off your
Home
leg.
is real. Home is real life. That's not real. That's
Right,
just to
exactly.
work,
He was
yeah.
like, he said, I'm in love with Desiree, not Harlo.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, that makes sense.
Cool. How'd your mom come up with that name?
Honestly, I don't really know. So I was, when I still lived with her, she was like, she woke me up and she was like, okay, I was up until 2 o'clock in the morning. Like, I have a whole notes of names that could potentially be yours and blah, blah, blah. And she was just like, she had all these ideas and,
She's really into your career, huh?
She very much so is.
That's
She's
good.
very
That's
supportive.
positive.
Yeah.
That's good.
Did she do it before or something?
No, she just always knew that I loved dancing, and this makes me financially free, and my time is free, and I get to work 4 days a month if I want to, which I do a lot, and I need to stop doing that.
I know. I was like, I'm like, what are your goals? Like, you have goals you're trying to achieve?
Yeah,
or?
so I want to be an actress. I want to be a model, and I've always loved dancing. So, like, have y'all seen the show The Idol?
Yeah, I've seen
somebody. Okay,
Yeah.
like Lily Rose Depp in that.
Uh-huh.
I can't sing very well, but like that's what I want to do. Like that.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah,
Was
I would
you
love
abused
to be.
by the weekend?
Exactly. You're picking up what I'm putting down.
Yeah.
No, but like that whole like the dancing and like just the vibe of that whole show. Like I would love to do something like that.
So
like-
what do you do with your when you're not working? What's your
Everything.
yeah?
I just go where the wind blows me.
Ride 140 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I saw you got Do It Anyway tattooed on you.
Yeah. I also got this is new, a little, like a little lawnmower thing, but it's
Oh, for the speed? Yeah. Is it the turtle and everything?
yeah,
Yeah. That's
pretty
awesome.
nice.
I see all these girls like covered in tattoos, and I'm so proud of you bitches because I had to get fucked up to get 3 butterflies put on my arm.
Is that the only one you have?
It's the only one I have, and I was fucked up.
They have numbing cream now. You can do that.
That's what I got to do to get covered. I don't like the butterflies. They look terrible. If y'all saw the picture of what it was supposed to be versus what I got, this looks like ass.
It doesn't look bad.
Well, compared to the picture, it does.
Yeah.
I said it's cutesy.
Thank you.
You recently had your boobs done, right?
Yeah.
What made you to make that decision?
Okay, so I'm going to be honest. My mom has some huge titties. Okay. My sister has titties. I've always wanted titties. When I was like 14, I started looking up and like doing my research on boob jobs and different types of boob jobs. And it wasn't because they had boobs, it's just because I wanted them. And it's always been something I wanted to do. Everyone thinks that I got them done because of the job that I do, but it's really, this was my goal. I was going to stop dancing after I got my boobs done.
Oh yeah.
What are you going to do next?
Buy a house. When I get out of dancing, I don't really know. I'll be a stay-at-home wife on a $200 million horse farm. I don't know.
You gonna push the horse thing?
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. Seems to be your thing that keeps you sane.
Big time.
With all the other things going on, I imagine you need that.
Well, yeah, because when I go down there, it's like just me. I only have the one, and I don't let people ride my horses. So you can't be like, "Ooh, we should go ride sometime." No, you can walk.
Yeah.
So when I go down there, it's just me, and it's time for me to think and time for me to regather my thoughts and get back to where I'm supposed to be.
Man, I just rode a horse for the first time ever. I'm 40 something, and I just rode it in Costa Rica. It was a little scary at first, because like with a motorcycle,
I was about to say, Carlos, you ride motorcycles.
you
There's no way
control,
you're
but you
scared of a
control
horse.
the motorcycle. Like the horse is this
You're
big
right,
animal.
yeah.
Like like if he wants to listen or not, but by the end of it, it was pretty cool. Except he wouldn't go fast enough. But definitely like to try that again. But
I hear you. So we offer, if you guys have anything you want to plug, if you have anything going on social media that you want to plug or an event, we're about to wrap up the show. Is there anything you guys would like to say specifically or talk about?
your OnlyFans.
I don't have one.
Yeah.
I keep talking about it, but I just never do it.
A story you want to spit out or a shout out or anything? No?
Like socials and stuff.
If
Yeah.
you want, that's up to you.
Okay, my social is Desi's World, and my OnlyFans that I do not partake in right now, but I will be back is Harlo Moon.
Harlo Moon.
Harlo Moon. All right.
Well, thanks for coming and thanks for sharing your
course, thanks for
stories.
inviting
Thank you
me.
guys.
Hope you
Thanks
didn't
for
hold
again.
back, but if you did, we'll have you back anyway. So
So thank you again,
Fine.
guys.
Of course.
Thank you.
Of course.
catch you guys next time. All right. It's hot in here.
It is very hot in here.
That's good.
We're open
That's
books.
why we went on. That's
Controversial.
we
We've heard it all.
I